Good evening, friends. Am I audible and visible? You can chat in the chat box. You cannot unmute yourself. Start your videos. And I'm not going to repeat it again and again. If I'll find anybody turning off their video in between, I will just remove them from the class. Okay, good evening, everyone. I hope the screen is visible to all. Great. So today I'm going to take you through a very important topic of reasoning, that is critical reasoning. Last year, when we have seen, not last year, I would say in December, when December 2019, when CLAT has changed the pattern, so they have shifted their logical reasoning completely to critical reasoning. So now approximately more than 20-25 questions you are going to get in logical reasoning as critical reasoning. And other than that, like there will be questions on logical reasoning as it was mentioned previously. So CLAT is the only exam jahan pe weightage bada hai critical reasoning ka. Except in that, if I talk about in general, the weightage of critical reasoning, it is somewhere between 5 to 10 questions. And it's a good scoring part, I would say. And it only needs a practice for one time. Okay. क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग ऐसा नहीं है कि हर बार आप बैठोगे हर बार आपको कुछ नया करना पड़ेगा. नो, द कॉन्सेप्ट्स आर गोइंग टू बी सेम, राइट? So if you really want to excel, or if you really want to get good marks in reasoning, so for that critical reasoning is again one of the important part. So as in when you will move on for your preparation, you will find logical reasoning to be one of the favorite topic of all of you. ठीक है, लॉजिकल रीजनिंग सबका फेवरेट होता है. ठीक है, द मोमेंट आई से यू शुड स्टार्ट योर टेस्ट विथ लॉजिकल रीजनिंग, देयर विल बी अ बिग स्माइल ऑन योर फेस, because that is the topic which has been loved by each and everyone, right? So for that, if you really want to cater good marks in logical reasoning along with critical reasoning, then this is where you have to start building your concepts. So today I'm going to take you through a very basic understanding of critical reasoning, where we will just understand initially that how critical reasoning is important, what basically is critical reasoning, then what are the types of questions which are being asked in critical reasoning. There are multiple type of concepts which are attached to critical reasoning, so we are going to discuss all of them in this class. So let's begin with what is critical reasoning. So critical reasoning is something which talks about a fact which is given to you, okay, or a conclusion which will be drawn in a particular statement. So initially, when I will start with critical reasoning, I will take you through the statement and statement-based questions, and then later on we will move on to the paragraph-based. Ultimately, if your concepts are going to be at placed, then whether the questions are statement-based or they are paragraph-based, things will be very easy for you. Okay, so today I'll be focusing more on the concepts rather than taking you on a very lengthy question. So today we are going to solve short questions. ठीक है, तो ये concepts बहुत ध्यान से पढ़ना है, बहुत ध्यान से समझना है. Make notes of it so that when I will give questions to you, you can refer the notes, you can refer the concepts, and you can give the answers. Okay, so critical reasoning is nothing but it is a clear conclusion based, or I would say the facts which are underlying the assumptions. Fine. So a fact will be given to you. Of course, assumption will not be there. So a fact will be there and a conclusion will be there, right? And at times the fact will be there. You have to draw the conclusion also. But assumption is something that is always a hidden part of it. Sometimes this fact is also known as premise. So when you will refer different books, अलग अलग words आपको मिलेंगे वहां पे. So don't get confused. Fact is nothing but it is the premise of a sentence of a statement. Is this clear? Okay, so you can write fact or premise. Conclusion, somewhere it will be mentioned, or else you have to draw the conclusion with the facts which are given there. Okay, so you just have to identify the assumption based on the facts. Now, before I move on to what is assumption, how to draw assumption from a given fact or a given statement, I would just like to take you through कि critical reasoning में actually हमारा approach क्या होना चाहिए whenever we are solving such kind of questions. So first of all, you should be like a detective. Okay, so whenever you are solving questions of critical reasoning, एक assumption लेके चलना है, एक अपना mindset ऐसा बनाना है that you are a detective. Okay, what is the work of the detective? क्या काम होता है detective का? हर एक चीज को minutely देखना. Okay, so you have to read each and every word carefully in critical reasoning. So whenever an assumption, you have to identify an assumption, or you have to find the conclusion for it. So you have to read each and every word very carefully in the question, so that it should always be there at the back of your mind. If you are going to read the same question again and again for multiple times, automatically your time will get increased in the examination, and there are going to be few parts which will remain unattempted. Okay, so to improve the reading habit specifically for critical reasoning, you have to be like a detective. You have to understand each and every word that is written out there. Okay. Second important part of solving critical reasoning is whatever question you are solving, whatever statement you are reading, it should be there at the back of your mind. Okay. So usually critical reasoning में questions कैसे होंगे? Let me just tell you. या तो कोई problem based questions होंगे, या फिर कोई एक fact given होगा, direct fact. For example, if I say the floor is slippery. Okay, so this is the fact that the floor is slippery because it rained. So this is your statement. Fine. Floor क्यों slippery हुआ? क्योंकि वहां पे rain हुआ. Now, what will be the fact? What is the premise in this sentence? The floor is slippery is the fact. Okay, what is the conclusion? What will be the conclusion? If I say it must have rained, okay, the floor is slippery, it must have rained. So the conclusion is because it rained, so the floor is slippery. Right? Now, what will be the assumption? Assumption kya hoga? Can anybody tell me what will be the assumption? Okay, so here assumption is nothing but it is the intrinsic thought or the hidden premise or the hidden fact which is there. It's not written directly in the statement. कहीं पे भी लिखा नहीं है कि assumption क्या है. But yes, after reading the two sentences where I have said कि the floor is slippery, it must have rained. Okay, so this was the statement. And with this statement, I have assumed that the floor will be slippery always when it will be rained. Okay, now क्या कोई ये बोल सकता है कि फ्लोर स्लिपरी इसलिए है क्योंकि वहां पे ऑयल गिरा है? Somebody has split the oil, that is why the floor is slippery. Can anybody tell this as an assumption? No, we cannot tell this. Why? Because the reason is already mentioned that it must have been rained. That is why the floor is slippery. So the fact is already given there. So we cannot assume out of the box which is not given in the statement. Okay? सो हमको सिर्फ उतना ही सोचना है assumption में जितना हमारे स्टेटमेंट में गिवन है. इज दिस क्लियर? कोई भी एक्स्ट्रा नॉलेज, एक्स्ट्रा जनरल नॉलेज हमको अप्लाई नहीं करना है. एंड हियर यू शुड नॉट आर्ग्यू कि मैम ऑयल गिर के भी तो स्लिपरी हो सकता है फ्लोर, right? So why it is not falling? Because it is not given in the statement. So you just have to apply your brain जितना आपसे पूछा गया है. So assumption में जो सबसे पहली चीज आपको याद रखनी है वो ये है कि जितना स्टेटमेंट में आपको गिवन है इंफॉर्मेशन, सिर्फ इसी को ही अप्लाई करके you have to identify the assumption. Don't put your extra general knowledge into it. Is this clear? Okay, just write down one more example before we move on to the next question. Next concept solving. Okay, so the statement says, all the freedom fighters of India, played an important role during independence. All the freedom fighters of India played an important role during independence. Okay, write down the assumption. Mahatma Gandhi played an important role during the independence or at the time of independence. Now tell me whether this assumption is correct or incorrect. Okay, do you think it's an assumption or it's a conclusion that I'm talking about? The statement which I have told you to write in assumption? Do you think it's an assumption or it's a conclusion? I hope now you are getting the point, right? So as I've already told you that you should not apply your brain. Is there anywhere written in the statement that Mahatma Gandhi is a freedom fighter and he helped at the time of independence? Nowhere it was mentioned, right? So until and unless it is not mentioned in your statement, you should not apply your GK, you should not apply your general knowledge which is already there. Okay, so assumption में ये चीज आपको ध्यान रखना है, जो already आपके पास knowledge है उसको aside करके and then you have to solve these questions. Is this point clear to all? Now your question must be कि मैम वो जनरल नॉलेज को कैसे हम अलग करें, वो तो बचपन से हमने पढ़ा है, ठीक है? So this will only come if you are practicing a lot and if your questions will get incorrect, मतलब आपके answers जब incorrect आना शुरू हो जाएंगे, that time you will understand that yes, I made a mistake over here, and this is where I applied my general knowledge. Okay. So before I move on with the detailing of assumption, let me just tell you take you through the skills which are required in critical reasoning. So critical reasoning is basically, it determines your ability to reason through an argument. Now, what is argument? This we are going to discuss on the later half. Logically and make an objective decision. Okay, so basically, if you'll see the last paragraph, the skill sets are mentioned over there, that one needs to be very good with the observation skills. You should be good with interpretation, reflection skills should be there, evaluation, inference, explanation, problem solving, and decision making. So these all skills are required when you are solving critical reasoning, and these all skills we have to develop as in when we will be solving the questions. ठीक है, ये ऐसा नहीं है कि ये skills हमने कहीं लिख के चार्ट बना के and we have just kept in front of us और उसको read करके ये skills develop हो जाएगी. No, it is not going to happen in that way. Okay, so for that you have to keep on solving the questions, and through questions we will understand where we are making mistakes and how we have to overcome those mistakes. So next slide, I have just put it in a pictorial form that which all skills are really required for critical reasoning. So reasoning is going to be same, okay, whether it is logical or critical. Okay, so you have to build the same logic, you have to reason it, and simultaneously you have to evaluate the text which is there in front of you. Okay, so it could be in a passage form, it could be in a statement form. Okay, so you have to evaluate it. There could be some problems which would have been given in front of you. So you have to solve that problem, and that problem should be logical. Okay. ऐसा नहीं है कि problem का जो हम solution दे रहे हैं वो viable ही नहीं है. Okay. So the solution to the problem should always be viable, which can be implemented and the problem can be solved. Okay. Decision making, at times you have to make decisions for a particular situation which is given to you. So according to that, you have to choose the answer, and you also have to analyze uh, like the problem which is being given to you, or the decision that you are making, or evaluating the text. So doing all such things, you have to analyze whether you are going in a right direction or not. The chart is clear to everyone. Any doubt? Should I move ahead? Okay. So now let's move on to types of questions. So the first type is statement and assumption. तो statement और assumption क्या होता है, कैसे assume करना है, उसका एक kick start I have already given it to you. Okay, so I have just made up your mind. General knowledge को aside रख के, now you have to start assuming things. That's the only reason I started with two very basic questions before we start with the session. Okay, so today we are going to like the types of questions are broadly based on statement assumption, then statement conclusion, statement argument. So for argument, either it could be strengthening the argument or weakening the argument. So strengthening the argument means going with the fact which is given in your statement, and weakening means going opposite to what is already given in your statement, the fact or the premise which is given. Next is statement and course of action. Next topic is FIJ, fact, inference, and judgment. And the last one is cause and effect. So these type of questions, of course, they will, look clearly when you will be solving critical reasoning. But to be very frank, these kind of questions can be asked in reading comprehension also. Okay, so why the weightage of this particular topic is little higher? Because at times in reading comprehension also, the examiner can ask you to identify an answer based on the assumption of the writer. Okay, so in that case, you again have to read the context very carefully, and you have to identify the hidden premise, the hidden assumption which is given in that particular context. Okay, even in reading comprehension, you will find questions on conclusion. So if suppose some situation is given to you in a particular text in reading comprehension in unseen passage, the examiner can ask you to identify the conclusion of that text. Okay, so for that also the same concept is going to get worked. So concepts यहाँ पे बदलेंगे नहीं, चाहे वो आप reading comprehension के लिए apply कर रहे हो और you are applying it for critical reasoning, the concepts will remain same. So rather than running behind solving so many questions by making the answers incorrect, it is always recommended that you solve few questions with full confidence with your concepts at place. Okay, so कम questions करो but concepts एकदम clear रखो. Okay, so today I'll be focusing more on concepts, and based on the concepts I'll be helping you out how to solve the questions and how you have applied that concept in this particular question. Okay, so assumption, conclusion, even argument questions can be asked in your reading comprehension. They may ask you that as per the context which is given in your passage. Is it strengthening the fact which is given, or it is weakening the fact? Okay, so it's not mandatory कि critical reasoning के questions सिर्फ critical reasoning के section में ही आएंगे. These questions can be asked in your reading comprehension also. And if questions are asked on critical reasoning in reading comprehension, that means that particular passage is going to be difficult. हो सकता है passage का language easy हो, but questions examiner ने difficult कर दिए. This is how it works in your entrance exam. जब आपका passage easy होगा तो questions tricky होंगे, और passage अगर आपको लगेगा कि थोड़ा difficult है, वहां पे आप देखना questions automatically आपको easy दिखेंगे. That means more of them will be fact-based questions. Okay, so this is how you have to relate the concept both in critical reasoning and in reading comprehension. That's the only reason verbal faculty take both the sessions, so that they can relate both the things together and make you understand that how to understand the concept of these topics and relate them in different topics. Now next is statement and course of action. So course of action would be new to you, and this is a particular topic which you will find only in critical reasoning. In comprehension में नहीं मिलेगा. With this format, I would say course of action. But of course, the examiner can ask you to find the solution to a particular problem. So course of action is nothing but finding an appropriate solution to any problem. Okay, so I'm just giving you an overview. Assumption is identifying the hidden fact, the hidden premise. Conclusion is concluding the entire text which is given to you. Argument is always done on the basis of the fact or the premise which is given to you. So strengthening the argument means when you are going with the flow of the context, it talks about strengthening. If you are going against the flow of the context, then it is weakening the argument. Okay, course of action is finding a suitable, a viable solution to any given problem. FIJ, in FIJ, like if you'll see fact is already given. Okay, so the fact which cannot be changed. For example, if I say the sun rises in the east. Okay, so the sun rises in the east is a fact which cannot be changed, which cannot be altered. Okay, so fact will be the direct facts which are given in any statement. Inferences, when we are inferring something. So today I'm also going to tell you in this session that what is the difference between conclusion and inference, and there is a very thin line difference between conclusion and inference. And these kind of questions can be asked in critical reasoning as well as your reading comprehension both. तो इस पर्टिकुलर पार्ट को बहुत अच्छे से आप लोग समझना, सुनना और उसके नोट्स बना लेना. And last is judgment. So judgment is always based on the fact and the inference which we are identifying. Okay, so these type of questions we are going to do, and then we will be building the strategy that how to identify the fact in a given statement, how to identify the inference, and how to identify the judgment of it. The last type of question is cause and effect. Okay, so as we all have learned the Newton's effect, where we have learned that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, right? So that is nothing but it is the cause which is being done, and with that cause, what is the effect which is coming. Okay, so cause and effect के questions बहुत ही easy होते हैं. So out of this 6 types, if I just tell you कि कौन सा सबसे ज्यादा स्कोरिंग होगा, स्कोरिंग तो सारे ही होंगे अगर आपने एक बार अच्छे से प्रैक्टिस कर ली, बट जो वन गो में जिनके आंसर्स आएंगे वो है आपकी कॉज एंड इफेक्ट, कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन एंड अजम्पशन. ठीक है, कंक्लूजन, आर्ग्यूमेंट एंड एफआईजी के क्वेश्चन थोड़े से ट्रिकी होते हैं, बट बिलीव मी इफ यू विल प्रैक्टिस इट तो ये क्वेश्चंस भी बनने लगेंगे. एम आई क्लियर till types of question? Any queries that you have, or should I move ahead? Okay, no queries. So let's move on to assumption. So if you'll just look at the definition which I have written on the screen, so an assumption is information not stated in the argument that has to be true in order for the argument's logic to hold. So here argument means the fact which is given. Okay. So you always have to understand this thing that assumption will be hidden in your statement. So you have to identify that hidden text. Okay. Simply put, an assumption is something the argument takes for granted in reaching its conclusion. So ये बहुत ही bookish definition मैंने यहाँ लिखी है, but then like the gist that you can take out from this particular definition is assumption which is not stated in a given information. Okay, so this is how you have to identify it. And in the next paragraph, if you see, it is also like a missing link between premise and the conclusion. So as I have already started my session with an example saying you that the floor is slippery, it must have been rained. Okay, so the premise was the floor is slippery. Okay, and the conclusion was that it rained. So what was the missing link between both of them? What was the assumption? That whenever it rains, the floor will be slippery. So this is how you have to connect the logic between the statement and the assumption. Now let's do one more simple example, which is written on your screen. So if I say that if you do not turn in your homework, your teacher will be, so what your teacher is going to do? Okay, punish you, scold you, will get angry, will be disappointed. अच्छा कोई बोलता है कि फांसी पे लटका देगा टीचर? Will give a capital punishment. है ना, एक्सट्रीम नहीं जा सकते. ठीक है, ये चीज आपको ध्यान रखने की assumption में हम लोग एकदम एक्सट्रीम में जाके नहीं सोच सकते हैं चीजों को. So my purpose of giving you this particular question was कि कभी भी एकदम एक्सट्रीमिस्ट होके मत सोचना assumption में. ठीक है, सो assumption उतने ही लिमिट तक सोचना जो कि वायबल है. हाँ, पनिशमेंट दे सकता है फैकल्टी आपको, टीचर कैन गेट डिसअपॉइंटेड, कैन गेट एंग्री, या फिर ये भी हो सकता है कि डबल होमवर्क दे दे. ठीक है, आपने एक होमवर्क नहीं किया ना, आप 2 होमवर्क करके लाओ. तो मतलब उतने हद तक जा सकता है, बट उससे ज्यादा एक्सट्रीम एंड पे नहीं जा सकते हैं. ठीक है, इन केस ऑफ assumption. Is this clear? So today, like I was having a discussion with Rishi sir in the morning, and he was telling me कि last week शायद आप लोगों को कुछ एक homework मिला था क्या? Current affairs पे? Can anybody tell me what was that homework? I know I'm going out of context with what I'm teaching you right now, but just tell me so that I can identify how many of you are paying attention in the class and how many of you are actually doing what I'm doing. Okay, excellent. I'm getting answers only from 2. Why so? Good. चलो धीरे धीरे सबको याद आने लगा है कि लास्ट वीक हमको क्या होमवर्क मिला था इन करंट अफेयर्स. So how many of you have actually submitted it? I think sir told you to write in notebook, click the photo and share it with Rishi sir. How many of you have sincerely done it? If you have not done it, I request each one of you to do it today evening. Okay? क्योंकि करंट अफेयर्स के सेशन लास्ट टाइम भी सर ने बोला था कि सुनने में बहुत मजा आता है. ठीक है, बट जब तक उसके आप नोट्स नहीं बनाओगे ना, देयर विल बी नो रेफरेंस मटेरियल विद यू. And last moment you will, okay, I have restarted my internet connection once again, so I think it will not trouble now. So is this clear that you have to submit your current affairs assignment by today evening? Okay, otherwise your faculty will scold you or will give you double homework for the next week. अगर उससे बचना चाहते हो तो ये मैं complete करके just share it with Rishi sir. Okay, now let's move on to the next part. A very simple question in front of you. Okay, just read it and tell me what is the premise. Premise means what is the fact, what is the assumption, and what is the conclusion. Okay, so there is a power cut. Okay, so text क्या है? People don't like to visit Evergreen Wildlife Park in the rainy season. This year, park authorities have reconstructed all the routes inside the park. Therefore, people will like to visit the Evergreen Wildlife Park in the rainy season this year. Okay, I got the answer in the chat box. At least try karo yaar. Right or wrong, it doesn't matter. But if you're trying, that is more important. क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली एग्जाम में आपको ही करना है बेटा, मुझे नहीं करना है. ओके, सो कंक्लूजन तो यहाँ पे सीधा सीधा दिख रहा है सबको. व्हाट इज द कंक्लूजन इन दिस पर्टिकुलर कॉन्टेक्स्ट? द कंक्लूजन इज जो therefore से शुरू हो रहा है. ठीक है, सो दीज आर दी वर्ड्स व्हिच आर गोइंग टू गिव यू द क्लू दैट इट इज योर कंक्लूजन. है that it is conclusion, right? So these words are going to give you a clue. They are the conclusion. तो ये therefore के बाद वाला क्या हो जाएगा आपका? Conclusion हो जाएगा. Okay, so what is the fact? What is the fact? Fact is that people don't like to visit Evergreen Park in the rainy season. Okay, so this is the fact which is there. Okay, this is the premise of the context. Now, what will be the assumption? So, assumption is the hidden fact, the hidden premise which is there. So, why people are not visiting the park? Because the roads are not built, right? That's the only reason that park authorities have reconstructed the roads so that people can visit the park this year. Is this clear? Okay, it was a very simple example which I took. So I hope after this, fact, assumption, and conclusion is clear to you. Yes or no? Okay, great. Good to go. Now let's move on to the next slide. Now, there are few concepts that we have to remember whenever we are solving statement and assumption based questions. So the very first concept that you have to remember is that whenever your statement is positive, okay, if your statement is positive, then your assumption can never be negative. ठीक है, तो जब भी स्टेटमेंट पॉजिटिव होगा तो assumption कभी भी नेगेटिव नहीं हो सकता है, and it will be vice versa. If statement is negative, then assumption can never be, if statement is negative, then assumption can never be positive. Okay, so this is something that you have to remember. Now, next is, you can never be sentimental when you are making assumptions. Never be sentimental means what? For example, if I compulsory in schools, fine. अब उसमें आपको सपोज कुछ फैमिली फंक्शन है, कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, और स्कूल अथॉरिटी ने ये बोला है कि 100% अटेंडेंस इज कंपल्सरी फॉर दिस ईयर, and you have some function at your home. Now what you will do? Am I audible? The first statement is clear to everyone. फर्स्ट जो कॉन्सेप्ट है क्लियर है सबको? अगर स्टेटमेंट पॉजिटिव होगा तो assumption कभी भी नेगेटिव नहीं हो सकता है, और अगर स्टेटमेंट नेगेटिव हुआ तो assumption कभी भी पॉजिटिव नहीं हो सकता है. Now next is sentimental. You can never be sentimental. So for example, if the fact is given कि 100% attendance should be compulsory in your school. Okay, so school authority has made it compulsory that 100% attendance should be there. And if you have any function at your home and you want to leave, okay, so you cannot become sentimental and you cannot say that no, it should not made compulsory. Okay, so based on one particular individual, based on the sentiment of one person, things cannot be changed. We can also take an example of, let's say, BJP government and Congress government. Okay, so if you are a big fan of, let's say, Modi, okay, or if you are just, if you are not liking Modi, so both the cases could be there, right? So you cannot become sentimental in going with the, flow of a particular form. Okay, iske liye ek example le lete. For example, tomorrow we are conducting a debate on farm bill. Okay, so in that case you should not become sentimental. अब उसमें बहुत बार क्या होगा कि people who are not liking Modi, so even if things are going in a better position, but still they are opposing. Okay, या फिर ये हो सकता है जो मोदी भक्त बन गया है, भले चीजें कुछ गलत भी हो रही है, but फिर भी since he or she is liking Modi, so they are just going with the flow. Okay, so you should never be sentimental whenever you are making any assumption with the given statement or with the given fact. Okay, तो अपने sentiments वहां पे नहीं आपको put करना है. Next, your assumptions can never be utopian. Now, what do you mean by utopian? It means imaginary. ठीक है, तो बचपन में हम लोगों ने बहुत बार कुछ एग्जाम्पल सुने हैं, आओ तुम्हें चांद पे ले जाएं, ठीक है, तुम्हारे लिए चांद तारे तोड़ के लेके आ जाए. So all such things are what? They are imaginary. Do you really feel that somebody is going to get star and moons for you? Stars and moon for you? No, not possible. Okay. Now don't tell me कि मैम सुशांत सिंह राजपूत ने तो मून पे अपना एक घर ले लिया है, तो एटलीस्ट वो तो हम ले ही सकते हैं. ठीक है, सो डोंट थिंक दैट मच. आई एम जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट कि अगर स्टेटमेंट नॉर्मल है, फैक्ट अगर नॉर्मल गिवन है, तो असम्पशंस आपको कभी भी इमेजिनरी नहीं पुट फॉरवर्ड करना है. होप द फर्स्ट 3 concepts are clear to you. फर्स्ट 3 कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर है सबको? कोई डाउट है यहाँ तक? ओके, नाउ अब ये दो कॉन्सेप्ट्स को बहुत ध्यान से सुनना, बिकॉज दे आर इंटरकनेक्टेड, right? So in the first one, it says general argument to specific conclusion, and next is specific argument to general conclusion. Now for this, I'll just give you a very basic example. For example, I'm a verbal trainer and I love music. Okay, so this is what is something that I'm talking about, a specific case. Is it a generalized case? It's a specific, because I'm talking about myself. Okay, and I'm saying that I'm a verbal trainer and I like music. So can I say that all the faculties like music? Never. Okay, so with a specific example, we can never make it generalize. But with the general conclusions, we can be specific. For example, if I say, जनरल में अगर मैंने ये एग्जांपल लिया कि all the faculties are taking the sessions online. Okay, so due to this pandemic, all the faculties are taking the session online. So this is your general conclusion which I am talking about. So can I say verbal faculty is also taking the session online? Yes, because in all the faculty, verbal faculty will also be included in it. Is this clear? The concept of general argument to specific conclusion and specific argument to general conclusion is clear to everyone. Okay, now let's understand the same thing with a very basic example. मैं आज ज़्यादा examples पे focus करूँगी because concepts clear होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. Once your concepts will be cleared, फिर question कैसा भी आ जाएगा assumption में, you will be in a position to solve it. Okay. Now let's take another example, very basic example which you can relate with your day-to-day life. So Ram told his servant, go to market and buy vegetable. Okay, so this is a basic necessity which is there in every house. Okay, so Ram is a person. So Ram told his servant, Athar has asked me a question. Athar, give some time to the concept. Then automatically after solving few questions, you will understand why it was not there. Okay. So Ram told his servant, go to market and buy vegetable. So this is a statement which is given. This is the fact which is given. Now, after looking at this fact, can you tell that market is closed? Can anybody tell that market is closed? How come Ram can tell his servant to go and buy vegetable if the market is closed? Okay, so market is closed can never be your assumption. Why it can never be assumption? Because your statement is positive. Your statement is talking about going to market and buying vegetable, and you are saying market is closed. That means, or I can write it in other way, like market is not open. So not open or closed, it means one and the same. So not means negative, right? So if the statement is positive, then your assumption can never be negative. Next, sentimental. When you are becoming too sentimental for the servant and you are saying that he is working since morning and now Ram is saying that go to market and buy vegetable. So the servant is too tired, right? So this is the sentiment which you are showing. So do you think that this assumption is going to get followed? No, you cannot put your sentiments into it, right? So this can never be your assumption. Imaginary, there is vegetable at home or there is no vegetable at home. If you'll see both the example, ठीक है, एक तो मैंने बोला there is vegetable at home or there is no vegetable at home. So both of them are what? They are imaginary cases. आप just imagine कर रहे हो कि या तो vegetable है घर पे या नहीं है, ठीक है? So if I say there is vegetable at home, do you think this assumption is going to follow? No. Even though if vegetable is at home or if it is not, if a master or if a person has instructed the servant to go to market and buy vegetable, that means what? That the person has to go and buy the vegetable which is being instructed by Ram. Clear? So we cannot imagine कि vegetables है फिर भी जबरदस्ती वो बुला रहा है या बिल्कुल भी vegetable नहीं है घर पे. That's the only reason he is asking the servant to go to market and buy it, right? So in both the cases, you are putting your imaginations into it. So imaginary assumptions are never going to get followed. Is this clear? Okay. In this particular case, at times in books, you will find this negative word as negation also. ठीक है, तो उसका एक नया टर्मिनोलॉजी जो आपको मिलेगा वो है negation. So even if it is negative or negation, it means one and the same. So if I say market is not open, so this not is your negation. So whenever your statement is positive, so negative assumptions will get eliminated. Clear है सबको? Shall I move ahead? Okay, now let's move on to the deductive reasoning and inductive. So in deductive, as I've told you, it will move from general to specific. So in general case, if I say all mangoes are fruits, and in statement 2, if I say all fruits have seeds, so mango falls into the category of fruits, okay? And all fruits have seeds. That means what? Can I conclude that mangoes also have seed? Will it be true? Yes, because it is already mentioned in your statement. We are not putting any extra knowledge. We are not saying कि mango हमने खाया है और हमें पता है कि उसमें seed होता है. ठीक है, so you are not putting your knowledge into it. You are just reading the statement and you are making the conclusion out of it. So in this statement, it is said that all mangoes are fruits and all fruits have seeds. Therefore, mangoes have seeds. Now, don't tell me कि मैम कुछ fruits ऐसे भी होते हैं जहां पे seeds नहीं है तो फिर उनका क्या करेंगे? So don't put that much of brain into these questions of critical reasoning. यहाँ पे आपको सिर्फ यही concentrate करना है कि statement में क्या given है, whether it is following with the conclusion, whether it is following with the assumption or not. That's it. Okay. ज्यादा अपना जनरल नॉलेज आप पुट करोगे सो इट यू विल गेट इनटू ट्रबल और बहुत बार आपके आंसर्स इनकरेक्ट होना शुरू हो जाएंगे. नाउ नेक्स्ट इज स्पेसिफिक टू जनरल. सो स्पेसिफिक टू जनरल, in this I am saying mango is a fruit. In previous example I said all mangoes, but here I am just talking about a mango which is a fruit. And second statement I am saying the box is full of fruit. So does it mean that the entire box is full of mango? No, because I'm just talking about mango is just a fruit. So in a box, apart from mangoes, there could be another fruits, right? So this is how you have to understand. सबको clear हुआ? General to specific and specific to general. इस पे questions आते हैं और इसमें बहुत बार आप लोग फंसोगे. So just revise it with different examples. Shall I move ahead? Now it's time to solve questions. So before we start solving the question, you have to read the instructions carefully. तो instructions इस तरीके से आपको एग्जाम में दिखेंगे. Instructions or direction to solve the question. So for assumptions, the direction is in each question below given a statement followed by two assumptions. So there will be one statement followed with two assumptions, and the numbered will be given as 1 and 2. An assumption is something supposed or taken for granted. You have to consider the statement and the following assumptions and decide which of the assumptions is implicit in the statement. अब इसी क्वेश्चन को थोड़ा सा ट्रिकी बनाने के लिए हम लोग क्या करेंगे, क्योंकि अब नेक्स्ट क्लास जो भी होगा आपका क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग पे ऑन अजम्पशन स्पेसिफिकली आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, इसके बाद आपका जो भी सेशन होगा वो एडवांस होगा. ठीक है, तो कॉन्सेप्ट्स अभी से ही क्लियर कर लो सो दैट एडवांस क्वेश्चंस जब हम करेंगे तो ये छोटी छोटी सी प्रॉब्लम्स डाउट्स उस टाइम नहीं आने चाहिए. सो एग्जाम में या तो क्वेश्चन इम्प्लिसिट आएगा या फिर एक्सप्लिसिट भी आ सकता है. ठीक है, इट्स नॉट मैंडेटरी कि एवरी टाइम एग्जामिनर इज गोइंग टू आस्क यू द क्वेश्चन ऑन इम्प्लिसिट, एंड यू कैन नॉट से कि मैंने तो सिर्फ इम्प्लिसिट के क्वेश्चंस किए हैं, सो आई डू नॉट नो व्हाट एक्सप्लिसिट मींस, राइट? सो इम्प्लिसिट इज when it is true, and when it is untrue then we say explicit. Is this clear? Okay, दोनों ऑपोजिट है. तो क्वेश्चन का डायरेक्शन भी पढ़ना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि वहां पे इम्प्लिसिट लिखा है या एक्सप्लिसिट लिखा है. Now, if it is implicit, so in that case, how you have to give the answer? So if only assumption 1 follows, you have to mark answer option as A. If only 2 follows, then B. If either is the case, either 1 or 2, then you have to mark C. If neither is the case, means neither 1 nor 2, then D will be the answer. And if both follows 1 and 2, then your answer will be E. Okay, either का केस assumption में नहीं बनता है, but still at times examiner can ask you question on either or, but conclusion पे पक्का आपका either or का question आएगा, and that we are going to solve in today's class. Fine, so let's start with the questions. Directions सबको clear हो गए? Okay, start with the first question and type your answers in the chat box. At least try करो यार सब लोग. Okay, I have started getting answers. Questions बिल्कुल भी difficult नहीं है. किसी को question difficult लगे? Maximum questions will be asked on the situation which you are facing. Okay? या तो कोई प्रॉब्लम होगी या सिचुएशन होगी जो ऑलरेडी आपने फेस किया है या आपने देखा है या सुना है. ठीक है, कोई भी आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स क्वेश्चंस आपको नहीं मिलेंगे क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग में. So let's start with statement number 1. So statement number 1 says a major retail store announced 30% reduction on all food items during the weekend. So during weekend, a major retail store, the name of the store is not given, but you can assume if you want to. Okay. So they have announced 30% reduction on all food items. Now, can anybody tell me discount का purpose क्या होता है? Reduction means what? It's a kind of discount. So what is the purpose of discount? Is it that कि लोग आएंगे 30% डिस्काउंट का बोर्ड देखेंगे और चले जाएंगे कि है इतना कम डिस्काउंट? हम तो 60% एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे थे. Is it so? So basically discount का purpose क्या होता है? To attract the customers. I got the answer in the chat box. Excellent, Tanaya. So basically the purpose of giving discount or reduction is to attract the customer, okay, whether it is for food item or for any item per se. So just move on to the assumption. कैसा statement है ये? Positive है? 30% discount मिल रहा है मतलब क्या है? Positive statement है या negative है? It's a positive statement, right? So let's move on to the assumption. People may still prefer buying food items from other stores. तो डिस्काउंट क्या इसलिए दिया है हमने कि फिर भी लोग दूसरे स्टोर्स पे जाके बाय करें आइटम. So it means what? Going to other store and buying the item is what? Is a negative approach that we are talking about. So do you think if this statement is positive, then your assumption will be negative? No, it can never be, right? So assumption 1 will not follow. 2 क्या है? A large number of customers may visit the retail store and buy food items. Yes, of course, that was the purpose. To attract more number of customers was the ultimate purpose of putting that 30% reduction. Okay, so this is how you have to relate. So this was purely on your concept 1, where your statement is positive, so your assumption can never be negative. Is this clear? Okay, let's move on to the next. The Railway Authority has rescheduled the departure time of many long distance trains and put up the revised timing on its website. Assumption 1 says the passenger may note the change in departure times from the website. It's a kind of notice which is being provided to the passengers. और नोटिस प्रोवाइड करने का पर्पस क्या होता है? फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैंने व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे कोई मैसेज भेजा आपको. सो व्हाट इज द पर्पस ऑफ दैट? दैट एवरीबडी ऑफ यू शुड रीड इट एंड फॉलो द इंस्ट्रक्शंस व्हिच आर गिवन. ठीक है. So the same is with this case also, that they have put the revised timing on the website. So if this is positive, then first assumption which is also positive है ये भी कि passengers क्या करेंगे? They will visit to the website and they will make a note of the change in departure time. So therefore this assumption will follow. Next assumption says the passengers may be able to notice the change and board their respective trains before departure. Yes, if they will make a note from the website, then automatically what will happen? That they will board the train at the respective time, right? Which is being rescheduled. So in this particular case, both your assumptions will get followed. Is this clear? किसी को कुछ डाउट है इन दोनों क्वेश्चन में बिफोर आई मूव अहेड? Any doubts, any queries? Okay, excellent. Now let's move on to the next slide. I hope you all are aware what is grace marks. Okay. So the statement says the school authority has decided to give 5 grace marks in English to all the students of standard 9 as the performance of these students in English was below expectation. तो grace marks कब देते हैं? When the performance is not up to the mark और जब students fail हो रहे होते हैं. ठीक है, so to pass the students grace marks का provision होता है in schools. Assumption 1 says majority of the students of standard 9 may still fail in English even after giving grace mark. So the statement is positive or negative? 5 grace mark देके स्टूडेंट्स को पास करने का पर्पस क्या है? पॉजिटिव है या नेगेटिव है? The school authority has decided to give 5 grace marks in English to all these students of standard 9 as the performance of these students in English was below expectation. अब students के point of view से मत सोचो कि वो negative है. You have to think as per the students, as per the school authority point of view. ठीक है, ये मत सोचो students of class 9 is not good in English. Okay, we are talking about the school authority giving 5 grace mark in English. So it is a positive statement, right? The assumption says majority of the students of standard 9 may still fail. तो क्या fail होने के लिए उनको grace marks मिले थे क्या? No, अगर फिर भी students fail होंगे, so there will be no purpose of giving grace marks to the students. So your assumption is negative. Fail means what? It's a negative term, right? So this assumption will not follow. Next, majority of the students of standard 9 may now pass. So the purpose of giving this 5 grace mark was to pass the students in English. Is this clear? कोई doubt है? बहुत difficult है क्या ये topic? Conceptually चलोगे तो बेटा कभी भी difficult नहीं लगेगा. But yes, अगर randomly उठ के आप उसको solve करोगे, and if your answers will not be correct, then you will find it difficult. चलो, let's move on to the next question. The civic administration has asked the residents of the dilapidated buildings to move out as these buildings will be demolished within the next 30 days. What do you mean by dilapidated? Dilapidated. So here your verbal knowledge is also being checked. Okay, so vocabulary knowledge bhi at times आपका check होगा. So dilapidated is nothing but yes, buildings which can't be repaired or which needs the demolition and needs a reconstruction. Okay, so dilapidated मतलब वो building जो कभी भी गिर सकती है. So what is the statement? The statement says the civic administration ने क्या किया है कि जो भी लोग उस dilapidated buildings में रहते थे, मतलब जो building कभी भी गिर सकती है, they asked them to get out from that building in next 30 days. So a time duration is mentioned there. And what they are going to do? They are going to demolish this building and maybe they are in a plan to reconstruct it. Right? So whether it will be reconstructed or not, it's not mentioned there. तो हमको unnecessary वहां तक नहीं पहुंचना है. सिर्फ जो स्टेटमेंट में गिवन है कि 30 days में लोगों को वो बिल्डिंग को खाली करना है. That is what we need to understand from this statement. So the assumption says the civic administration may be able to demolish these buildings as per schedule. If they have given 30 days duration, that means what? That after 30 days, they are going to demolish it. Now, don't tell me, ma'am, हम तो इंडिया में रहते हैं ना, 30 days का मतलब 2 months होता है. ठीक है? So don't make such kind of assumptions when you are solving these questions. So if it is written 30 days, that means the civic administration will demolish these buildings in 30 days. The residents of these buildings may vacate and stay elsewhere. Of course, if they have to vacate the place, then they have to move to some other place. Is this clear? So your answer will be both 1 and 2. Clear है सबको? Any doubts that you have? Hello, solve next 2 questions. There are few students who have turned off their videos. Do you want me to remove you from the class? आप लोग जब ऑफलाइन क्लास में भी आएंगे तो क्या मुंह छुपा के बैठे रहोगे क्या यार? बुरखा वगैरह खरीदने का प्लान तो नहीं कर लिया है? और हर बार नेटवर्क का प्रॉब्लम नहीं होता यार, ये अभी सिली मतलब एक्सक्यूजेस देना बंद करो. Okay, so let's move on to question number 5. It says that the captain of the school football team selected only 14 players to play all the 8 matches of inter-school football competition. So how many players he selected? He selected only 14 players. The assumption says there may be adequate number of football players for all the matches. So adequate means what? Adequate means sufficient. And the number is sufficient, then we say it is adequate. So these 14 players, do you think it is adequate number? Sufficient or enough? Yes, Avanti. So if the school captain is selecting 14 players and if he is the captain, that means he took the right decision. Can anybody question on it? कि 14 ही क्यों select किए? 18 क्यों नहीं किए? 20 क्यों नहीं किए? Right? So that means what? If this statement is again positive, then your positive assumption will be true. The captain may able to play in all the matches. तो जरूरी है कि कैप्टन हर एक मैच खेलेगा? नॉट नेसेसरी. विराट कोहली हर मैच खेलता है क्या? ठीक है, तो कोई अगर कैप्टन है उस पर्टिकुलर टीम का, सो इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी कि वो सारे मैचेस खेलेगा. फाइन. ओके, so how many players are there by the way in football team? कितने प्लेयर्स चाहिए एक टीम में खेलने के लिए? 14 चाहिए क्या? यस, assumption में आपको ये क्वेश्चन कभी भी नहीं आएगा कि हाउ मेनी प्लेयर्स आर रिक्वायर्ड, बट एटलीस्ट फॉर योर जनरल नॉलेज, अगर हाँ कंक्लूजन का अगर क्वेश्चन होगा, सो दे मे आस्क यू दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन. राइट, सो यू शुड नो, ये बेसिक नॉलेज होना चाहिए. एंड डोंट टेल मी कि मैम वी आर नॉट द फैन ऑफ फुटबॉल. राइट, सो those who are not knowing how many players are there, it's a homework for them. Just go and identify. So automatically you will identify the answer for option number 2 कि हर एक मैच कैप्टन खेलेगा ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है. Is this clear? Any queries, any doubts that you have? Now let's move on to next question. Next question says, enroll with us before 30th November to get the advantage of our 20% discount offer and advertisement by a coaching class. So usually in assumptions, you will find either there will be an advertisement or it will be an advice. Okay, so these kind of questions will be really easy for you to crack because that you can directly relate. So 20% discount, again, it's a positive or negative? It's a positive statement, right? So if you are enrolling before 30th November, it's a positive statement. Then assumption says discount offer is bound to attract good students as well. Now, how you are going to categorize good students and bad students? Can anybody tell me how one can categorize that this is a good student, this is a bad student? कहीं सर पे लिखा रहता है क्या किसी के? हाँ, कि अच्छा ये तो गुड स्टूडेंट है, ले लो उसको, ये बैड स्टूडेंट है, इसको हटाओ. Is it so? Do you really feel, is there any category as good student and bad student? There's no category. ठीक है, so unnecessary उसको categorize नहीं करना है हमको. So nowhere, like we can say that this offer was to attract good students. So this statement itself is not appropriate, right? Second, it says even those students who cannot afford to pay the fees of coaching classes may join the class. मतलब जो अभी तक फीस अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकता था, वो 20% डिस्काउंट के बाद क्लास ज्वाइन करेगा. डू यू थिंक सो? Do you think that 20% is going to attract the people who cannot afford to pay the fees? Until and unless कि उसको 20% को आपने 100% नहीं किया, तब तक ये पर्टिकुलर क्राउड आप कैटर नहीं कर पाएंगे जो फीस पे नहीं कर सकता है, राइट? सो इवन सेकेंड वन इज ऑल्सो नॉट बाइबल, इट इज ऑल्सो नॉट ट्रू. ठीक है, तो जो अफोर्ड ही नहीं कर सकता है फीस, उसके लिए 20%, 30% या 10%, इट डजंट मैटर. इज दिस क्लियर? एनी क्वेरीज, एनी डाउट्स? Okay, now let's solve these two questions. अभी लॉकडाउन के टाइम पे सबने योगा किए होंगे, है ना? Some or the other form of exercises. So again, it's an advertisement. It is saying that join our yoga institute to keep yourself completely fit. The assumption says people may prefer exercise to medication. नहीं होगा, ये meditation होगा. It's a typing error. It will be meditation. ठीक है? So people may prefer exercise to meditation. Do you think people who go to gym, they will drop going to gym and then they will prefer meditation? हाँ, अगर लॉकडाउन का टाइम है, अगर जिम बंद है, that is a different story, right? But people who are exercising, do you think that they will prefer exercise over meditation? Not really. Okay. Next, there is an awareness to a great extent about yoga exercise among people. तो people, लोगों को उसके बारे में पता है, योगा एक्सरसाइजेस के बारे में. Of course, if we are putting any advertisement in a newspaper or any social media, we assume that people know about it, right? So, of course, the awareness is there. That is why the person has put the advertisement. So, your statement is positive. And if you're saying that there is no awareness among the people, then it will become negative, right? So, of course, the awareness is there. That is why the advertisement was being put. Is this clear? Any doubts? Chalo, next question. Okay, so in this statement, it's been said that if you want to get a good job, you must have at least the basic knowledge of computers. Again, can anybody tell me what is the definition of good job and bad job? Is there any definition? कोई बता सकता है मुझे कि bad jobs कौन कौन सी होती है और good jobs कौन कौन सी होती है? Can you categorize it? Not possible, right? So when we cannot categorize things, then at that time assumption should be more of generalized rather than specific. Are you getting my point? इस तरीके से आपके लिए ट्रैप बनाए जाएंगे एग्जाम में और आप बहुत इजीली उसमें फंस जाओगे. ठीक है? सो इसको गुड जॉब नहीं पढ़ते हुए व्हाट वी विल बी रीडिंग? If you want to get a job, you must have at least the basic knowledge of computers. So at least एक basic knowledge क्या होना चाहिए आपको? Computers का होना चाहिए. Now assumption says all good jobs involve use of computers. तो हमने क्या किया था? यहाँ पे एक particular job की बात की जहाँ पे क्या required है? Basic knowledge of computers required है, right? And in the assumption we are saying all मतलब क्या? जनरलाइज कर दिया उसको. ठीक है? तो यहाँ हम कुछ ऐसे जॉब्स की बात कर रहे हैं जहां पे आपको बेसिक कंप्यूटर की जरूरत है. बट इन द assumption आई एम सेइंग ऑल गुड जॉब्स involve use of computers. So for example, if I say a person is chef, do you think he require a knowledge of computers? And can you say that chef is not a good job? Okay, so here we were more specific when we were talking about this statement. Are you getting the point of specific and general? Right? So I was the examiner or the person who has written this particular statement was very specific in this case that if one needs to get a job, then that person should have a basic knowledge of computers. Okay, and when the assumption is being said, it is being generalized कि सारे jobs के लिए क्या जरूरी है? Computers. So if your statement is specific, then your assumption can never be generalized. Is this clear? Okay, तो वहां ऐसा लिखा नहीं होगा कि ये specific है या ये generalized है. आपको read करके carefully हर एक word को समझ के and then you have to come to the conclusion that whether this assumption will follow or not. Is this clear? कोई doubt है यहाँ तक? Next is computer knowledge has been made an essential criteria by most of the companies nowadays. Yes. So this can be correct क्योंकि यहाँ पे हमने लिखा है कि अगर किसी को job चाहिए, so that person should have a basic knowledge of computer. So this has become one of the criteria, right? So it's the criteria which we are talking about in this statement. ये सबको clear हुआ? कोई doubt है तो पूछ लो before I move on to the next slide. चलो last question फटाफट करेंगे and then we will move on to the next topic. In view of large number of cases of suicide committed by the farmers in state X, the state government has decided to waive off the agriculture loans granted to the farmers. So to relieve the farmers, what the state government has done, the government has decided to waive off the agriculture loan, right? So again, positive or negative? Positive statement, right? So assumption says this may stop further cases of suicide committed by the farmers, right? So, of course, your assumption is also positive, so it will follow. This move of government may be welcomed by the public at large. Now, who will give answer to this question? Public at large. So do you think that are we talking about the public or we are talking about only the farmers? We are only talking about farmers. मतलब ये भी कौन सा केस है आपका specific, ठीक है, जिसको आपने assumption में जाके generalize किया है. So this generalization will not be accepted. Is this clear? Okay, now let's move on to the last question. The government has decided to provide monetary relief to the farmers in the drought hit areas. So in drought hit areas, what government has done? Government has decided to give monetary relief. Again, positive statement. Maximum statements आपको positive ही मिलेंगे in assumptions. The farmers of the affected area may accept the government relief. Accept करेंगे? Of course, when it is for the welfare of them, they will accept it. The government machinery may be able to reach the affected farmers to provide relief. Of course, yes. Then only it will get fulfilled, right? तभी तो वो monetary relief का कोई फायदा होगा. Monetary relief doesn't mean कि पैसे हाथ में दे दिए, right? So it can be in different ways. So it can be in a form of providing machinery also, right? So both the assumption will be implicit. Is this clear? Assumption sabko clear hua? Now, the next task after this session is for the next week, there is a test on Vikalp Education platform. So you have to go to your Google Play Store, download Vikalp Education application and appear for the test on assumption. Okay, compulsory you have to do it. I will check. Chalo, now let's move on to the next. Next topic is conclusion. So conclusion is again, it's the statement and conclusion that we are talking about. And conclusion here means the point that the author is trying to prove based on the given facts. So at times you will find the conclusion written in the statement itself, or you have to conclude out of the fact which is given over there, right? So more of you have to apply your general knowledge over here. ठीक है, तो ये पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक में क्या होगा, आपसे आपका जनरल नॉलेज पुट करने के लिए बोला जाएगा. But in assumption, you should not put your general knowledge over there. So for example, if I say, if your friend tells you about a movie which is based on a novel by a famous author and the main character in the movie is Hrithik Roshan. Okay, अब कुछ लोगों के favorite है Hrithik Roshan, ठीक है, और किसी का नहीं भी होगा. Whatever it is, you should not be biased. ठीक है, just stick to the information which is given over here. And then he goes on to add that he's sure this movie is going to be hit. अब अगेन सेंटिमेंटल नहीं होना है कि यार ऋतिक रोशन होगा तो कैसे हिट हो जाएगी, या जो ऋतिक रोशन के फैन है वो तो बोलेंगे नहीं 100% हिट होगी, राइट? सो वो सब चीजों को असाइड रख के you just have to concentrate on the last statement which is given there. What is the last statement? It is said that he goes on to add that, and he's sure this movie is going to be a super hit. So the conclusion is already given there. You do not have to put anything. You should not put your brain into it. कि ऋतिक रोशन है तो कैसे होगा, नहीं है तो क्यों नहीं होगा, वो सब चीजें नहीं सोचनी है. It is already given, right? So this is how you have to work on the conclusion. So most of the time the conclusion will be given itself in the statement. If it is not given, then of course the examiner is trying to check your general knowledge for that. Fine. So how to identify conclusion? I have already told you previously when we took the example of Evergreen Park. So there we have seen the word like therefore. So if you are finding therefore, thus, consequently, hence, so these all words somewhere implies that it is talking about the conclusion. Or else you can find words like conclude that, content that, believe that, hypothesize that, clearly. So these all words somewhere indicates that the author or the examiner is trying to give you the conclusion of the given text. Is this clear? Now let's understand the difference between inference and conclusion, which is little tricky, and this is going to help you in your examination. So let's understand the difference between inference and a conclusion. A conclusion is very specific to the argument, which is given in the passage or in the statement, while an inference is more generic, okay, which you have to apply, which you have to understand, right? So, for example, if I say a statement, a fact, or an argument that, as an example, if I say when lions are injected with certain specific chemicals, let's say the name of the chemicals is X and Y, they start showing erratic and overly aggressive behavior. Fine. So what is being told in this statement? In this statement, we are talking about the reaction of lions after taking a particular chemical, and the reaction of them, we are just specifying that they are becoming erratic and aggressive. So what will be the conclusion? Conclusion is directly we are seeing that due to the use of these chemicals which are given to lions, they are behaving aggressively. Okay. So this is your conclusion. Now, what will be inference? Inference is when we are just, it's not the assumption. Okay, you need to understand this. We are not assuming. It's the clear-cut fact which is already given in your statement that after using these chemicals, this is what will be the behavior, right? So in this case, the inference will be that if we are using chemical injections, so these chemical injections are not good for lions. Okay. So this will be your inference. And if I say a particular chemical which is good for them, they are, behaving smartly, then of course, in that case, the inference will be opposite to what it is already been told now. Is this clear? Okay. So inference is when we are just relating with the fact which is given, the relation that we are making. Okay. And conclusion is the direct data which is already given. So this is how you can understand. Okay. So in this, you have to build more of the relation, which is, of course, it is also given there, but you have to build the relation over here. And this is the direct fact or direct conclusion which can be drawn from the premise or from the fact. Is this clear? Okay. And this concept will get clear as and when you will solve questions on it. So we will do few more questions on inference, maybe in passage based. But right now I'll be moving to statement and conclusion based questions. So again, read the directions carefully before you move on with the questions. So it says in each question below is given a statement followed by two conclusions. Conclusion 1 and 2, you have to assume everything in this statement to be true. Then consider the two conclusions together and decide which of them logically follows beyond a reasonable doubt from the information given in the statement. Now, don't get confused with statement conclusion to syllogism. These two are two different topics. Okay. So I hope few of you have done syllogism also. Those who haven't done it, I will give you a difference between statement and conclusion because the questions will look alike. Okay, questions will be in the same format, but the pattern, the strategy will differ in both the cases. तो अभी सिर्फ statement और conclusion पे focus करो. Syllogism का जब lecture होगा, I will take you in detail. So how you have to appear the answer? So you have to give the answers. If conclusion 1 follow, you have to write A. If 2 follows, then B. C follows, either 1 or 2, then C. Neither, in case of neither, you have to write D. And in case of both, you have to write 1 and 2. So let's start with question number 1. Okay, great. I'm getting the answers in the chat box. Now let's understand. Here you have to shift your approach. Till now, what I have told you, not to apply your common sense, your general knowledge when you are solving assumption, but it will not be in the case of conclusion. In conclusion, you have to conclude what is given in the statement. So statement says sealed tenders are invited from competent contractors experienced in executing construction jobs, right? So we are talking about the experienced person who are required, right? So conclusion says tenders are invited only from experienced contractors. Yes, it is clearly mentioned there. Contractors experienced in executing construction job. So it is directly mentioned. That means what? Tenders are invited only from experienced contractors. It is difficult to find competent tenderers in construction jobs. Do you think so? If it would have been difficult, then do you think that this particular advertisement or this particular notice needs to be issued? No. That means what? कि हमको experienced person, experienced contractors मिल जाएंगे. That's the only reason we have put this particular notice, right? So we can't say that it is difficult to find competent tenderers. So हम assume नहीं कर रहे हैं. We are just extracting the fact which is already given in your statement, right? Next question. The distance of 900 kilometers by road between Mumbai and Jaffna will be reduced to 280 kilometers by sea. This will lead to a saving of rupees so and so per annum on fuel. Okay, so what will be the conclusion? Transportation by sea is cheaper than that by road. Is it so? Is anywhere it is mentioned that transportation by sea is cheaper than that by road? It's only told that if somebody is traveling through road, then this will be the distance. If somebody is traveling by sea, then this will be the distance. Okay. And later on in a statement, it has been said that if the distance will be reduced from this to this, then there will be a saving on fuel, right? But nowhere it is mentioned that transportation by sea is cheaper than that by road. Is this clear? So there could be other way around, like the questions can be asked that moving from one place to another, if you're going by road, then let's say 10 hours is being required. And if you're going by air, then only 1 hour is required. So does it mean that going by air is cheaper than that by road? No, it doesn't mean, right? So here we are not talking about the expense. We are just talking about if the distance will be reduced from this to this. Okay, so there will be a saving on fuel, but that doesn't mean that transportation by sea is going to be cheaper. Okay, next, fuel must be saved to the greatest extent. So do you all feel that fuel should be saved? Yes, because it is exhaustible energy है या inexhaustible है? So I hope you all know. Okay, so that's the only reason every time we talk about saving the fuel. Chalo, great. I'm getting the answers in the chat box. Now solve the next question. Question number 4 to solve karo aap. A bird in a hand is worth 2 in the bush. What is the meaning of this particular statement? It's a proverb. Okay, सबने पढ़ा होगा बचपन में. It's a proverb. A bird in a hand is worth 2 in the bush. That means whatever you have, you should be content with that, right? Or you should be satisfied with what you have. The conclusion says we should be content with what we have. Yes, we should be satisfied with what we have. This is the meaning of this particular statement. Next, we should not crave for what is not. So हमें उस चीज का लालच नहीं करना चाहिए जो हमारे पास नहीं है. So indirectly both of them means the same. कि हमारे पास जो है उससे हमको satisfy रहना है, and simultaneously जो नहीं है उसके लिए ज्यादा सोचना भी नहीं है. We should not crave for what is not with. Ultimately, you have to understand the meaning of the statement and you have to apply it to the conclusion. So here your knowledge will be required. Is this clear? Okay, now let's move on to the next. Okay, solve question number 5. Okay, I'm getting the answers correct in the chat box. That means you have started understanding the concepts. So the statement says a neurotic is a non-stupid person who behaves stupidly. Okay. So here we are talking about a neurotic person to whom we are saying that he is a non-stupid person, but behaves stupidly. The conclusion says neuroticism and stupidity go hand in hand. So do you think that this particular person is intentionally behaving stupidly? No. So it clearly indicates that both of them goes hand in hand. Next conclusion says normal persons behave intelligently. ये किसने बताया आपको? Don't say that, ma'am, I am a normal person and I am intelligent. That is why this conclusion will follow. Okay. So again, we need to understand that statement is only talking about neurotic people who are behaving stupidly. We are nowhere talking about normal people. Is this clear? तो कंक्लूजन में भी जनरल नॉलेज यूज कर सकते हैं, बट उतना ही करना है जितना आपको स्टेटमेंट में गिवन है. इज दिस क्लियर? तो आंसर विल बी ए. We will solve one more question. Okay, solve question number 7. Fortune favors the brave. ये भी आपने सुना है. It's an idiom. Okay. तो idiom and phrases अब directly नहीं पूछे जाते हैं exams में, but of course somewhere or the other in reading comprehension or critical reasoning you may find them. So fortune favors the brave. That means what? Those who are brave in their decision, fortune will always favor them. So option 1 says risks are necessary for success. Yes, of course. You have to take risk to be successful. Cowards die many times before their death. Does it mean that if fortune favors the brave, so coward is going to die many times? Again, related to coward, nothing is mentioned there, right? So we cannot say that what will be the case with cowards. It's this clear? Okay, now let's move on to next slide. चलो ये दोनों क्वेश्चंस हम लोग सॉल्व करेंगे एंड देन वी विल वाइंड अप फॉर दिस डे. सॉल्व क्वेश्चन नंबर 9 and 10. Okay, so question number 9 says, Mr. X is one of the probable candidates shortlisted for the post of director of KLM Institute. Okay, the conclusion says Mr. X will be selected as director of KLM Institute. So he is one of the probable shortlisted candidate we are talking about. So shortlisted means what? Either he will be selected or he will be rejected, right? So या तो select होंगे या फिर reject होंगे. इसके अलावा और कोई ऑप्शन बन सकता है क्या shortlisted candidate का? No, there will be only two cases, right? So conclusion 1 says Mr. X will be selected as director. Yes, shortlisted है मतलब select हो सकते हैं. Mr. X will not be selected as director of KLM. Yes, ये भी possible हो सकता है. अब मुझे ये बताओ अगर first हुआ तो second होगा क्या? अगर वो select हो गए तो not selected होगा क्या? नहीं. अगर वो shortlist होके not select हुए तो क्या वो select होंगे? So this is the case of either or. This is how you have to understand. If one conclusion will follow, then second will not. If second will follow, then first will not. Now solve the last question. Corporate general manager asked 4 managers to either submit their resignations by the next day or face termination orders from service. 3 of them has submitted their resignations by that evening. Okay. So I hope you understand the meaning of resignation and termination. Okay, resignation means when you are willingly leaving any job, then it is resignation. Termination means when any employer is firing you, that means it is termination. Now, conclusion 1 says the next day the remaining manager would also resign. तो अगर 3 लोगों ने सबमिट किया है रेजिग्नेशन, तो बाकी लोग भी रेजिग्नेशन सबमिट करेंगे नेक्स्ट डे, पॉसिबल है? यस, क्योंकि 2 ही चॉइस है ना, या तो रेजिग्नेशन सबमिट करना है, अदरवाइज द कंपनी इज गोइंग टू टर्मिनेट देम. The general manager would terminate his services the next year. अगर उसने रिजाइन नहीं किया तो जनरल मैनेजर क्या करेगा? जनरल मैनेजर विल टर्मिनेट. अगर उसने रिजाइन कर दिया, इफ अ मैनेजर हैज रिजाइन, तो क्या उसको टर्मिनेट कर सकते हैं क्या जनरल मैनेजर? नो, राइट. और अगर सपोज उसने रेजिग्नेशन सबमिट नहीं किया तो फिर जनरल मैनेजर क्या करेगा? टर्मिनेट करेगा. सो अगेन इट इज अ केस ऑफ आइदर और, राइट. अगर वो रिजाइन कर देगा देन ही वॉन्ट बी टर्मिनेटेड. इफ he will not submit the resignation, then of course he will get terminated. Is this clear? Statement assumption and statement conclusion is clear to everyone. In the next critical session, before we will move on to the next topic, I request all the students to appear for the test on Vikalp Education platform. Those who have done with Vikalp Education test, you can appear for the test on TCY application. I have received a query in the chat box. 4 are needed for the termination. So out of 4, like 3 of them has submitted their resignation already. It's already given in the statement, right? So you have to read the statement carefully. Sukhada. Is this clear? Any queries that you have? Any doubts? So that's all from my end. If you have any queries related to this particular topic, you all have my number. You can take the screenshot of the question and you can directly share it with me. Okay, that's all. If you have any queries, you can type it in the chat box, or else I'll be ending the meeting. No queries? Thank you so much. And next session will be at 6:30.